What's up, HVAC crew? Welcome back to another episode of HVAC R&D, powered by Keystone Sales and Associates, your premier PHVAC Mid-Atlantic rep. It's late. We're back to the good old days. It's me and Rhydona on here. It's 10 o'clock at night on a Thursday.
Yee.
We're still cracking a beer here shortly. And then I'm going to pass out. Long week, had a lot going on, got a lot to talk about, so let's get it going.
Yeah, come on. So what's up, trade crew? Welcome back to HVAC R&D. Like Dennis said, yeah, it's
I'll start that.
It's a return to the good old days of
I've got these new buttons on my computer here.
Dennis has sound effects now. Watch out.
Geez. Yeah.
It's gonna be great. I guess you feel like a real producer now, don't you?
No. I'm getting closer though. Getting closer.
One of these days.
You right?
So anyway, like we said, welcome back to the show. Thank you to our other platinum sponsor, One Thing Marketing.
Sorry, I had. Okay, I'm done.
You know, I mean, they are in Louisville, right? Right? Am I right, everybody?
Yeah.
Let's go Sluggers. Hell
Nailed
yeah. Nailed it.
Yep.
Break out the lumber. Which is funny because I'm going to a Knights game this coming week. See, there's something I forgot to talk about because I'm half asleep.
There you go.
So
good time, good weather for that.
Yeah. So please make sure to follow us on social media, on Instagram and TikTok at hvac.rnd. Also find us on LinkedIn. LinkedIn is continuing to grow. Also, there's some stuff to announce on that later in this show. I'll talk about that a little bit. Check us out as well on Facebook and Trade Hounds at HVAC R&D. For all of the important information, please go to hvacrnd.com. The website's done. I know we've talked about it, but I'm going to keep talking about it because we have a great sponsor that put a lot of hard work and time into making sure it looks awesome. So thank you so much to Sandra, Evan, and Brittany and everybody at One Thing Marketing for taking such good care of us. Make sure to check out the vendor hub on the website. You can get some info about One Thing Marketing, info about Keystone Sales for your great PHVAC products. You can also find your rep or your distributor network around you, depending on where you are. They do cover from Pennsylvania down into the Carolinas, so even if you're not getting taken care of by my boy Dennis and Grayson, Bob, Paul, all the guys down here, make sure to check out who is up in your market, whether you're in Virginia, Maryland, Delaware, PA, anywhere up that way. Go check it out. Also, you can get some great deals on BetterHelp, Chirp, and Service Titan. And I just this week got the final passwords and everything we need. So the events and the articles, hopefully I will start getting that stuff going by the end of the month. And also, please don't forget, discount code Cajun420 in honor of Cajun Joe in his 82nd birthday last month, running the code through the rest of May, 20% off anything you guys order. And if there's anything else you need information on, such as the needle walk stuff this weekend, actually 2 days from now, which at this point will be tomorrow morning. If you're around the Pineville, Matthews, Monroe area of Charlotte, come out and walk with us and get some information off of the link tree. So check that out. But without further ado, let's get to the show.
I was going to ask you something while we were going through that. Oh yeah, what are we going to call your blog page? You come up with a name yet?
Dude, I've been honestly really thinking about that, and I have not yet settled on a name.
I can't wait to read an HVAC article from Rhydona.
I know, right? I feel like the first one needs to be really cheesy on purpose.
Yeah, I mean,
make sure to change your filter.
Yeah, don't do that. Man, I cannot scroll through our Instagram without seeing that. Also, I forgot to mention, we hit 1,100 again on Instagram, so thanks for everybody.
Yep.
We hit it twice. We do it right because we do it twice.
That's right. I was going to say, where are we at on
Trade House?
We're up to 189 followers on LinkedIn. That one's growing very consistently the last several weeks.
Not gonna lie, I gotta create a LinkedIn.
Yeah, you need to.
I know.
Because then I can tag you and stuff.
Oh God!
Yay!
I can't keep up with all the social media I got
Me
going on
neither.
now.
That's why we advertise 5, and I can barely keep up with 2.
I fired up. Well, we had to get another Facebook because we got hacked and we lost that one. But I'm trying to sell my golf cart on Facebook Marketplace, and I forget to look and see if I got any notifications if anybody wants to buy it. I don't even look on there. Got to get that sold before I move here shortly. I really don't want to haul it up there. Yeah, so let's get into the HVAC brew of the week. What do you got? You got something special over there, you said?
I do. I'm going to pull it out of the sleeve so I can read it to you. Just trying to keep it cool in the my koozie. All right. So, I have a Ratia.
Like
which is the sour drop citrus Cabarrus Brewing beverage.
Okay.
In honor of the local speedway, Charlotte Motor Speedway, even though it's in Concord. You're welcome, Charlotte.
Right.
So last weekend we had. Was it last weekend? Yeah, last weekend we had the NHRA 4-wide nationals. So,
oh yeah,
I hear every single race that entire weekend.
Oh, four wide on that is a lot.
Yeah, and it's that's all you hear.
Yeah, and it's silence right after that
for like 3 seconds.
Yep. Yeah, it's 4. I don't know what their horsepower is now on a rail top fuel. I want to say like 7,000. It might be higher than that. Yeah, so you add that times 4.
Yep.
It's a lot. You really can't even take a breath if you're in this crowd. It's a lot.
So let's see. We've got so it's a sour ale with natural flavors, 5.3% alcohol per volume. The citrus taste Cabarrus goes wild for, which Cabarrus is the county of Concord. So Concord is the county seat of Cabarrus County, one of the 100 in the state of North Carolina. You're welcome.
There you go.
Putting my history degree to use, so don't get to use it anywhere else.
I'm going to see if you can guess this one. Throw some hints out here until you can figure it out.
Okay.
Maybe you can pronounce it for me.
Oh, jeez.
One side of the can, so this is a pint can.
One
side, a pint. One side says, "Hi, neighbor," all the way down the side. It's a lager. It's It's made on honor and sold on merit. It is... Yeah, you're not going to get this. Is it Narragansett? I'm about to sing
Narragansett? Is that it?
Narragansett, that's it.
Yeah.
What did I say? Oh, that smells skunky right there. Jeez. I have never seen this.
Where is it from?
Oh, you know where it's from. Wait till you look it up.
That's what I'm doing.
Oh, yeah. Here it comes.
The Made on Honor series. Rhode Island. Hotbed for passion.
No, it's Rochester.
I'm getting there. It just doesn't say it yet. Rochester!
There it is. I don't know what the alcohol content. It doesn't have it on here. It's like a 6-pack with the little, the old school, things at the top there. The ones we're supposed to cut before we throw in the trash.
Hey, where now see the famous Narragansett beer, Tuckwatton Street, Providence, Rhode Island. Where are we getting Rochester from?
I'm looking at the can.
What the hell?
Narragansett Brewing Company, Rochester, New York.
Well, why is it listed in Rhode Island?
Pawtucket, Rhode Island. Oh, it's Write or Visit Us in Rhode Island. Anyway.
Providence Brewery.
This can looks like something. Yeah, man, that came from deep. And I was like turned away from the mic. All right, so we're good here. We're ready.
Yep, let's do this thing.
This could be 10%. It could be a 5%er. I got no clue.
I already closed it out, so I don't know either.
It's a light lager. It's pretty light. It literally smells like a
brewery.
Yeah, it just smells like beer. It does. I did a service call. Man, I probably said this on here before. At what point do we start repeating stuff on here?
I don't know. That's a good question.
I mean, I can't remember what we've talked about, last year, year before. So I did a service call in Atlanta at the Budweiser plant. I think I have talked about it. The place is just spotless, but
I don't remember this.
When I'm walking through there, obviously you got to go through the security guard. I mean, it's a pretty tightened up place. So I've just got to go in there to work on a mini split in an office, like a little break room. Gotcha. I got to go through the whole plant to get to it. And if you can picture like 60, 70 foot just silos in a building, and the building was refrigerated. So you walk in there, it's like 40 degrees, maybe 45 degrees. And it just smells like fresh beer. I mean, the whole place just, it's hard to explain. It just smells like a cold, fresh beer, man. It was crazy. Yeah, they gave me a bunch of swag and, I mean, they got tours out there every day, but yeah, the place was, the grounds that the place was on was nice. But I will tell you, they took me through the room where they're cooking everything down.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to go in there.
You don't want to go in there.
1,000 degrees in there. And there's, the guy's standing up on the ladder stirring it with like a big boat paddle. And it reeks in there, man. When those hops and everything start getting cooked down, whew, not good. Not good. I don't know I can't explain that smell, but it's not good. It's nowhere near beer.
No, thank you.
No. All right, so catch up a little bit here. Recap on the Kicking It with Kylie show. I've had some people call me, and
it was funny.
And they're like, man, she knew quite a bit. I'm like, well, he had to beat Corey. It's just what had to happen.
Yep. Now, did you see our boy Jason HVAC J604? Did you see his comment?
No.
It said we should start a. No, it was a couple days ago. He said we should start a segment where you give someone like a 30-second countdown to name as many components as they can name, like every guest.
Yeah, they're gonna rattle off like 10, and then they're gonna just hit a wall. You know what I mean? Yeah, capacitor, compressor, like. Kylie said, "Is there 4 C's?" I'm like, I don't know how many C's there are, Kylie. There's a bunch of C components. Yeah, she had a good time. That was different. That was a trip. Learned a little bit about what the middle schools are talking about trade-wise. Plumbers are whoop whoop for the plumbers.
Yep.
She kept saying, I think they were on the first thing on the list.
Plumbers and life coaches. Perfect.
Plumbers, and then and then meteorologists right after that.
Was it exercise scientists? Dang, is that what it was?
Exercise, yeah. What? I can say it. Ain't nobody that was listening.
Sorry, everybody.
Yep. Yep. So that kind of rolls us into what you've been working on a little bit.
Yep. So Wednesday, I got to speak to, or I was part of a group of people from our company that spoke to around 25 to 30. There was a mix of teachers and some older students, so there was a blurred line if it was 24 to 28. There's a few I wasn't quite sure of because I didn't get a chance to meet every single person.
Right.
Because I was kind of in and back and forth with it. But so where I work at Insight Partners in the Carolinas, we announced our official workplace partnership with the Urban League of Central Carolinas to do, opportunity of job shadowing, also potentially helping to, introduce the school and some different companies that are looking to hire other people, helping kids learn how to develop their resumes or different things when they're going to look for jobs in our industry, but also in the 15-20 minutes that I spoke, a lot of what I talked about was all the different jobs that exist in this industry. Because
that's a good one. Nobody ever thinks about that.
And I was the one that brought up the rear, so I was the sixth person to speak. So I was the one holding everybody back from lunch. So I had to be entertaining.
God.
Oh yeah, I was that guy.
Tough spot right there.
I was in the hot seat. But and I've talked about it on the show too, but when I got done with high school, I was running from this trade. I wanted nothing to do with it. I thought I'd already had a career in it. I didn't want to do it anymore. I was done with the attics. I was done with crawl spaces. Nope, I don't want to do it anymore. Right. Now, I still did it through college because I didn't want to pay for school, or I didn't want to borrow money to pay for school. I wanted to not have the debt from it. So, while running from the industry, but also benefiting from it, I got out of school and we're in the middle of, this massive financial headache yet again with the housing crash between 08 through 10 was just a nightmare.
Right.
So, what did I end up doing? I went and got a job in a different segment of, what supported the trades. And that's, I think, I brought that up to a lot of guys. I said, you may go out there and you spend 3 or 4 years in the field, and sometimes it's just not your thing. I get that, but you understand the industry, and that there's people, you know what it was like to be in your spot there going, I wish I knew who to call at the supply house to know something. Maybe I can go be the guy at the supply house that the dude in the crawl space calls, because I know what it's like to have been in the crawl space, and I can help that guy out.
Well, you said the other day, you're like, I went to college. Like,
yeah,
I'm not going to come on this show and say, you just need to skip college and go straight to trades.
No.
That might be your thing. But, My son, he's got some sort of a path. He wants it to be in music. If that don't work out, then he's going to go a different way. But he's going to college to get that paper to start that journey. He may end up selling air conditioners, right? I don't know, but where he's going, it's not going to hurt him. It's not going to hurt him.
And one of the things that I brought up in there too, I said, whether you do this and you learn your trade and then you decide to go do something else later in life, the beauty of knowing a trade is that you are always employable.
That's right.
You are always employable if you have a trade to fall back on. It may not be your main career choice, but in a pinch, you have value, and that's a huge thing to have in your pocket. Learn a trade, even if it's 2 years, 5 years, whatever. Learn one. I
feel like everybody listening to our show is in a trade.
And I agree.
Maybe not.
And I agree, but I'm sure they also are in some ways or another, constantly are in conversations like, well, why do you do what you do? But yeah, it's probably a good thing it cut me off because I think I just started rambling. But no, like we said, learn to trade. It's a great thing to have in your pocket. It's always something you can go back to if you need to. You're always employable if you're an electrician, HVAC guy, plumber, any of them.
Well, like Crumpton said, he's like, look, and the guy he had on his show, first 2 or 3 years, if you're going to go HVAC, first 2 or 3 years might be rough if you start in the field, if you start that path. You may start on the counter and then go into the field, right? There's all kind of ways to go about it. I started in just construction in general. Then I went to woodworking, carpentry, trim. Didn't feel like that industry was growing. Went back to school for HVAC after I had kids. I've always just liked trades anyway. And almost started over. Like in my
you basically did in a lot of ways.
Started over with a different, let's find a good trade. Nothing against carpentry, but unless you were just full blown giant custom homes, like the trade just doesn't grow. That's hard to explain that. It just doesn't, unless you own a huge company. You can't just go work for somebody and make a fantastic living just, running trim all day. It's weird, right? It's just, it is skilled labor. It is a skilled trade, but it's a dying breed, right? Nobody makes big custom cabinets anymore. You just go buy them, right? Stuff like that.
No, you really don't see certain things, like you said, certain things in the custom world just are disappearing.
Right. So in this, obviously HVAC survived the old pandemic. Did well there.
People like to be hot or cool. Shocker.
Right.
Electrification. Electrification. No. Jeez.
Mm-hmm. So what else you got that you got coming up or you worked on this week?
I did several job site visits this week. Got a customer that we're working on getting, which will segue into some more of this later, but we're working on a builder quote with a customer that's got several projects coming out of the ground. And then I've got another contractor that's got about 12 projects coming out of the ground. So there's a lot of moving parts really fast.
It's time.
Well, and it's summertime, but also a lot of these are big projects too. And then I'm working to start dabbling a little bit in the industrial side. I've got a job I'm working on with a customer for 120,000 CFM air handling unit that has to use duct sock through this massive area. The problem is there's engineered specs for the building, but there's no design. There's no basis of design. There's no plans. It's literally, this is the unit and how big it is. Go.
Well, just
I don't
strap a
even
duck sock on it and let it rip.
I don't even know what it's like. I don't even know what the building's supposed to look like or what it's going in. And I said,
what's the duck sock gonna be like? As long as a football field, or what?
well, the guy said one of the calculations that when he had submitted to somebody said it was going to have to be like 10-foot diameter duck sock. I was like, there's no way.
Oh wow, there we go.
He's like, I can't put 10-foot duck sock through a gym. It's going to be like halfway to the floor. Are you serious?
It's gonna be like a bouncy house hanging in there.
It's like, that's not going to work. He's like, and then they were saying if you use spiral, it's going to be 60-inch diameter spiral. I was like, holy shit.
Did you see that video on Instagram of the spiral that fell at that resort?
Yes.
Oh boy, that was
insane.
I really didn't want to keep watching it because the people screaming and the lady laying there bleeding out. It was like, oh boy. Yeah, that was some big spiral that fell.
Yeah, no joke.
I guess one hanger breaks. That's all it takes, and it's over. You know, it just starts ripping itself out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was. I don't know. I meant to tell you about that. See if you saw it.
Yeah, I saw it. I literally saw like the still pictures of it, and I said I didn't even watch it. I didn't want to.
Oh, everybody's texting me. So, you know, it's Thursday night. We're recording this. The Canes were in overtime. My phone just started going berserk.
Oh, geez.
Final. Canes win.
Did we win?
Yep.
Yes.
Well, everybody listening is like, well, yeah, they won. The Canes are killing it, man.
Place your bets now.
Yep. Canes win. Oh, wait.
Yep.
Let me...
Which means... That's
I need a
it.
cowbell on here. We go to the Checkers game. It's a cowbell. Everybody rings a cowbell.
Which means we win the series. So who are we going to... I'm curious who we're going to end up playing.
Oh, man. Well, there's...
What is it? Maple Leafs? It looks like it
games
might be the Panthers because they're up 3-1 right now.
Yeah.
How's
The
game?
Kraken. The
I know.
Kraken. I mean, what?
I know.
It's literally a sea monster.
I know. I was watching.
I don't know if I'm feeling that logo.
It's not bad. Could be worse.
I do like the color scheme, though. It's different for hockey.
Well, it's because it's similar. Their color scheme's similar to the old Mariners a little bit. I feel like it plays on each other.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
I saw I watched a stand-up special the other day, and the guy was wearing a old school, like early 90s Seattle Supersonics hoodie, and I was like, classic.
Oh, yeah. Supersonic.
Freaking Sean Kemp and Gary Payton, legends.
Oh, yeah. What you got on here? A little AHR 2024.
So I've got a call with Nicole tomorrow to discuss a few things.
There we go. Don't forget to talk about what we talked about.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Can't say it on here. It's a surprise.
No, it's a surprise. And if we pull it off, it will be a surprise. I'll say that.
Speaking of our sports, so if anybody looked at our story, I had posted four teams for DraftKings golf, my golf picks. The deal with DraftKings is I always pick four teams. It's all about what games you get in, right? It's not straight sports betting, but
Yep.
You take that team and you throw it in this game or that game. Whoever's in that game might stink, right? You might do well. You might take that same team over here and not do so well. But if you used a couple of my teams made some money. I spent $20 total and made about 25, which is not terrible. I get to play again for free. So, we're not throwing it in this week. I'm going to post them for the PGA Championship coming up. So I'll try to get them in as soon as they let me pick them. I will put it on the story. I'm starting to follow it pretty tight, so I don't think I'm doing that bad. So yeah, be looking for those. And what else I got going on this week? Oh, I've had a lot going on this week. So Keystone had the first Train the Trainer event in old Valdez Nuts up there where our shop is. We had obviously on the Bosch product, and the Bosch product is on the heating and air side. It's new, right? 7-8 years old, in the 8 years old range. So a lot of the stuff everybody's been to with other brands, they haven't done, they just haven't had it. Once you start gaining market share, so it is kind of exciting being over here. So we had Train the Trainer for 2 days, 6 hours each day. We invited in distributor tech support guys, and that's all we had. We didn't have any techs. We had one or two service managers for large companies where they do in-house training for their guys, and they're selling the product. So we obviously invited them too. But not going to lie, man, it was tough to get distributor tech guys to come in and sit next to another distributor tech guy. We had a good turnout. I mean, we're talking about just North Carolina, right? The ones I've been to were other brands.
They're nationwide. All over.
Yeah, you got 200 guys. So we had about 10 each day. We had lunch, let everybody hit in the golf simulator. I got a dartboard. We did some cornhole. My setup is literally in a warehouse. So, but it's a giant man shed,
It's pretty classic.
It's a he shed.
I'm excited for 3 weeks from now. Get to go spend some time in the big training room.
We got some running equipment up there. We got 2 big TVs. I had the field piece stuff casted up on the screen so we could see the pressures, but it was get all your questions answered. Everybody in the room is a trainer, essentially, or a tech support guy. So pretty cool. Got to talk to a lot of guys. That's what I used to do. So of course I'm still kind of helping tech support, obviously, but I guess what I wanted to talk about was why that's important. I mean,
well, we talk about that all the time, man. It's community.
Well, yeah. I mean, we've got some distributors out there, or if you've got local distributors in your town and they got a tech guy, I don't want to beat some of them up, right? But a lot of distributors have a big main brand, and then they got other small brands or just different brands. If you're a tech support guy in that distributor, you got to cover all that.
Yep.
You got to learn all them products. When me and Ryan were together at that distributor, they brought in a product. I had to learn it. I've never put it in before. I just had to learn it because I was going to have guys calling me on it.
Yeah, you had to learn it to know how to work on it. I had to learn it so I could go sell it. So you'd have to work on it.
That's right. So, yeah, super important. So if we got any tech support guys out there listening, if one of those pops up in your town, you got to go. I tried to talk a little bit about training, how I approach training. I try to do trainings a little different. We've all been to trainings and they're dragging on, or they're hard to stay awake or stuff like that, right? I try to do things a little different. Not a stand-up comedy show, but I don't know, a little different. Always got to have some running equipment there, though, man. That's crucial.
It's hard to train without running equipment, especially these days. It was one thing when all you were training on was just, this is a 10-seer single-stage unit. This is your 13-seer single-stage unit. The top of our line.
Those guys had it made back then.
No joke, right? It's different now. And then I think I'll back up just a minute because you talking about, since I'm in the Bosch game now too, so I got to talk about it. I've had the the same question at the time about it being a little bit. It's a younger brand, it's 7, 8 years old, and
Right.
like you said, there's things that they as a brand haven't encountered yet, but there's also there's also the flip side of that, because a lot of these other brands that have been out there and been the main go-tos of the market forever,
Right.
all they have is that they've been the number one or the top ones in the market forever. And we once again just had an opportunity, and we're having an opportunity to kind of really change how you do things and how we go to market. Yet none of them really did. In some
Right.
cases,
Well,
none of them really
just because they're
changed.
all out there and you see them in every home doesn't
That's it.
mean they're progressing.
That's it. So we have a refrigerant change, we had a sear change, but so many of these brands, they just took their very bottom one and they lopped it off and just left the rest of it the way it was.
Right.
You look at what Bosch is doing, the entire line.
They just checked a box.
Yeah,
I mean, they just checked a box.
that's what a lot of these other guys say. They check the box. You look at what Bosch is doing and a few others, and no one else is going to market with a complete line of inverters. That's it. I mean, that's all they do. Inverter 15, 18, 20. Boom. Pick it.
Package inverter.
Yeah, package inverter. No one else is doing package
Yeah,
inverters.
I mean, that was intriguing to me as a tech guy and training. Now don't get me wrong. A couple years ago, I had a heat pump startup class, and everybody was like, are you kidding me? Like, what are you doing? I'm like, well, 14 SEER running system on a cart, and let's talk about heat pump. And we had quite a few show up to that because yeah, man, I got this new kid. He's out of school. He didn't know how a heat pump works, but the beauty of this system is, not to just cheerlead on the brand on here, but you're right. It's we got to start progressing.
Yeah, it's doing something different. It's, you look at it from, and we'll segue into some of this later. I know we got some builder talk coming. I also want to touch on something I talked about with a colleague today was, and I think we've talked about it a little bit on the show here and there, but I was talking with this guy a little bit today, spitballing ideas back and forth about how we can make it a bit more interesting on the show at some point. But what does the contractor really want out of a distributor? What do they really want out of a brand? We've had that conversation, but I feel like as we're going into these next kind of levels in our market, with the things that are changing, the things that are coming, you and I have talked about it. We've struggled to get other people to see it from time to time, but the contractors changing. They are changing.
Oh,
We're having an age difference in the primary guys that we're starting to see, and that's not a negative thing. I hope when we're at retirement age, we can retire and someone else takes over and they're doing something more interesting than we were. I hope they are, because it means we're going forward.
Yeah, we're in the middle of a wave of a change.
Yeah, so we're watching all this industry change right now, and there's things that prior, and I hate talking about it, pre and post COVID, but in a lot of ways that changed our business so much more than people, I think, are even still realizing.
Right.
There's a distinct difference in, I feel, what I thought contractors wanted before, and I feel like there's a distinct change of the way contractors want things done now.
Yeah, especially from a distributor.
Yep. And I think that's something that, being kind of in a new role at a, up and coming distributor that is working to do things different. What can we do that truly is beneficial to do things a little bit different to be better for the contractor? And what are things that may have seemed important before that really aren't?
Yeah, I think that new contractor is a little more business savvy. Seems like. I don't know if you're seeing that.
I'm seeing that, but I also think we're seeing them be a bit more business savvy from different means, if that makes sense.
Right.
In the past, you would see guys that were potentially more business savvy because they did night school to get a business degree, or they did something different.
Right.
They did something that the other guys weren't doing. Now you're seeing people be even more business savvy, but they're more business savvy because they've been enrolled in this online, contractors group, and they've been talking with a group of peers about different things. Or you're seeing people be involved in different things. There's all these different conferences we have now that we didn't really have stuff like that before. There's all these different, I won't call them the snake oil guys out there, selling you this or selling you that, but there's all these different coaching platforms and all these things that we see now that we never had before. So you're seeing business savvy, and I guess the influx of business savvy is coming into the industry differently than it did in the past, which to me, that means those wants and desires are different than they were in the past.
Well, so I was going to say, I did a training this morning early for a large company that does put in Bosch, but he only wanted me to come out and train his service guys, and he just wanted me to get to the nitty gritty on the board. They've already put it in. Just get down and dirty with it. And I go in this room, and there's probably 12 service guys in there, kind of ranging. They're middle age, right, and younger. Used to, you would get from guys like that, you'd get, what are y'all having problems with? What's breaking on y'all? Is y'all's coils leak? I'm not getting that anymore. It's like they're like, it's just a different generation. What are y'all having trouble with? Because back in the day, like, nobody's broke.
I know.
Now, were they awesome units? Not really. Man, they don't make them like the good old days. No, they're better, right? They're better. Cars are better. I've said it on here before. That 72 Nova was awesome, but you could not put 150, 200,000 miles on it.
Nope.
I mean, you just couldn't. It just wasn't. But, I'd take one all day. That 10-seer, there wasn't, everything on it was so rigid and straightforward and piston, and there was just nothing to it. And then, the training is, and somebody had a leak or somebody had a problem with a system. It was like, you got to watch that brand. They got this breaking.
Mm-hmm.
These guys in this room, man, they weren't like that. Nobody asked me that. Nobody asked me how much the board was when it's out of warranty. It's just a different, it's almost, it's just more business driven, right? It's not like,
and stuff like
fix
that
it,
now.
Felix, over and over and over,
Well, and like you said, is it under warranty? Stuff like warranties have become so much more standardized than they were 20 years ago.
Right.
Well, maybe a little more than 20 years ago, but they become so much more standardized than they were before that guys, in a lot of cases, like, this part, if they know it's less than 10 years old, they're not concerned about it because they're going to get the money back anyway, or 75 to 80% of the time, you're getting your money back. There are the ones that didn't get registered and the stuff that this, and this, whatever. And then there's, the brands that tie it to the homeowner versus those that tie it to the home, whatever. So there's always that cross section of sorry, but sorry.
Well, I don't know if you're hearing this. I've been hearing contractors are like, man, I'd be fine with me if they just did everything just 1 year. Like, it wouldn't bother me at all.
Yeah.
I'm like, really?
Because
you won't hear an old cat say that.
No. But back in the day, you didn't have to build a business around, service and maintenance agreements the way you have to do now, because the cost of doing business now versus then, mostly because of regulation of this, regulation of that. And I'm not saying regulation is bad. I think there are certain things that, we're glad we have now.
Right.
But the overall cost of doing business has gone up so much that, it might be more advantageous to just have a 1-year warranty and you get charged for parts. It certainly isn't advantageous to the homeowner, unless they have, some bang up perfect brand, which there is no bang up perfect brand. Sorry, everybody. Mechanical stuff breaks. I don't care what you do.
Newsflash.
You can be the best contractor in the world and you can put it in perfect, and tomorrow something could blow the hell up for no reason any of us understand. Is what is. Nothing's perfect anymore. Never was either.
No, I mean, that's why install is so crucial. I've said it a million times on this show. We got a lot of repeats tonight.
Yep.
I had the owner kind of give me a funky look this morning. I don't know if he was the owner. I think he was the owner. Large company too. I said, I gotta get some training on with in front of your installers. And he's like, yeah. Got the service guys today. You gotta get them installers out of here, get them out on the road. I'm like, yeah, I get it, And
because they're not the one putting it in or anything.
Right. And then I went down that road with him. I was like, yeah, I know, man. You got them installers. I said, usually they're the least paid, overworked, beat up, underpaid, and they're putting in all your brand new equipment and slapping your sticker on it. So none of those add up.
Yep.
All these service guys in here are working on everybody else's crap, and they're making all the money, and they get the commission and on the sales. And so these installers want to hurry up and get the service, and that's what I love about Jeff and these guys is Jeff's like, I don't want to be a service guy, man. I just want to put in systems every day.
Yeah, make them look good and run good. So the
Yeah,
service guy doesn't have anything to do.
Putting in new. Yeah. Well, they don't need to be working on their stuff anyway.
Nope.
That's the idea, but I'm seeing more and more of that too, where companies are really taking care of their install guys, man, because that is your business. That's your company.
And I spoke a little bit on that yesterday. I know thanks to all of our buddies at HVAC Visionaries for sending me logos and some install pictures. I threw all of those up on a screen when I was talking to those people, because I think it's important that you can go online and you can, in today's age, you can go on there and you can take a look at quality, good work.
Right.
I'm not saying other people aren't doing quality, good work. That's not what I'm saying. But you can go on and you can look at guys like Jeff or Jeff Jadam. You can look at Jeffy Pipes. You can look at HVAC Strong, PE. All these guys are taking so much pride and time and doing the work right. Learn from that. Now, the flip side of that, and what's funny is I talked about this with one of our control guys after we spoke to some people, is that there are some things that the YouTube how to fix it video is probably not the way to go. There's
right.
there are some very high-end pieces of equipment that the random YouTube video is probably not what's going to teach you how to fix it right. Because unfortunately, I think within the next 5 to 10 years, especially on commercial stuff, hell, it may be even in the next 5 years, the majority of commercial stuff, I don't think you're going to be going out there without a laptop. I think those days are about over. Because the stuff that is being pushed into commercial by government regulation is nuts.
Oh yeah.
Like if you, and
I'm kind of looking forward to
insane.
it, but in the field, it's going to be a little dicey. But like on the Bosch product and probably other products, there's a USB on the board. At least ours has one. Where if we get to a situation where we have to update software on a board or something like that, You just put the thumb drive in, it uploads the software, you pull the thumb drive out. Like, pretty slick there. Now, that's not going to have to happen for a while, but down the road, if that needs to be, and you've got an older model or something like that. But currently, there's nothing like that happening. So, and you remember me getting on the laptop with the High Sierra Rude product.
Yep.
It was just software. It was updating software. Instead of changing a stat to a newer stat that was on the shelf, I could update the software right there, and now you got a brand new stat, but it's the same one that was on the wall, and the board and the air handler was updated. On one of those calls, I could do that, just if it was that call, like, we got to fix this thing. Or you could change the board or the stat, and it'll update it on its own because you're getting a new stat. But, yeah, I don't know. I feel like we will get to that situation. Where
I think it's coming. I think no matter what, that's what's coming. I mean, you're already seeing...
Obviously, we're talking residential, right? Because commercial, it's been there.
Yeah,
but,
and like I said, commercial's going to get worse. Residential, we're already seeing everything is becoming, connect your Bluetooth to this unit. It's coming. God, it's coming.
Man, I don't know. I feel like the Bluetooth thing is, I don't know. I don't know if I'm on board with that. I would probably jump on my phone and set up the blowers and speeds and everything, and I guess it'd be fine. But if you don't set it up,
that's where it's starting. Where's it going?
I know it's headed that way. So speaking of Bosch and the Bosch guys, the poor Bosch guys today got a golf lesson. I hate to say it. If they're listening to the show,
whooping on them.
They took a beat down from me today. I got the old cortisone shot in my arm a couple weeks ago, so my tendonitis is, let's say it's gone. We all know it's not gone.
It is well hidden for the moment.
I know, and the doctor's like, look, man, you can't just go play golf and go to the gym now. I'm like, what? That's the reason I got the shot. Like, if not, I gotta just put it in a sling. I mean, what are we doing here?
It's like, I'm a tech trainer for a rep agency. It's golf season. Put that shot in there. Let's go.
Give me the shot. He was asking me like I had to sign a waiver. I'm like, where's the shot? That's why I'm sitting here. Like, just go get it. Quit trying to explain to me what's going on with my arm. I really don't care. I mean,
when I'm 65, I'll be proud of this scar tissue.
Yeah, it hurts like hell. Go get the needle. Like, I can't even grip a golf club. So yeah, we played a little course in Mooresville area. I had the Bosch, the guy over Bosch training. He's based out of Oklahoma. He's the one that came down and did the trainer, so he was still here one more day. We had a regional sales guy and another gentleman with Bosch, and I posted a little 73, so I was hitting the ball very well. Actually, I made a lot of putts too, which helps. But we had a 73, and then we had a short 91, a 99, and then an off the planet score with one guy.
That would have been me.
You still hadn't even played.
I know.
We got to get you in the simulator.
I gotta get. Yeah. I guess should I bring my clubs?
Yeah, we'll unpackage them.
We'll unpack them.
Yeah, they're crispy. They're going to be out of date.
They already are out of date.
They're still new. Yeah.
They're new to me, okay, everybody.
That's right.
New to me. My 33rd birthday present, now that I'm 36. Finally opening it.
God, was it really that long ago?
Yeah. It's bad. It's bad.
So what do you need in your bag? You don't have a putter?
I still need a driver and a new putter because I can't find my freaking putter.
We got like 6 drivers. I don't know. They just keep showing up in Valdez. Like, I've got a big, like, staff bag, like a pro bag up there that we just throw clubs in for people to hit. There's like 5 drivers in there. Just grab one. I don't even know where they come from.
Solid.
No lefties, though.
I'm good.
Poor
I'm good.
lefties are struggling up there.
I'm good. No lefty for me.
So, yeah, we got you on the driver. We don't have a putter up there.
I'll just steal the that classic King Cobra that's in the office. The one I sent you a picture of.
Right.
I have been practicing the the 5 to 7 foot putt radius in the office from time to time. I'll sit
all right,
for an
Rhydon,
hour,
chip
working
it
on
within
stuff.
5 feet, and he's money.
Yes. Done. It's like, man,
All right.
it's like I never knew it would be that easy. Just get it within 5 feet of the pin every time. I'm great.
I was chipping good today. I was chipping good. I thought I'd lose the feel there because I hadn't played in about 3 months, but like riding a bike. So yeah, pretty happy with the old golf game today. They weren't too stoked. I mean, I'm not gonna let you win just because you're.
No.
Thanks for taking me out and all and everything, but no, it's all you got to play the course. That's what I was doing. I was playing the course. I thought I was going to shoot under par today. Not gonna lie. Shot one under on the back. 72. I shot. I think I shot 38, 35. I shot under par on the back 9. Yeah, I was draining putts, man.
All I can see right now is you sinking a putt and just being like, yes, shoot up.
Oh, I was fist pumping. And they're like, oh, yeah. I mean, I get into it. I was fist pumping. They were just like, what was that for? What was that for? Like,
I'm like, I made a putt. Am I not allowed to be
like,
excited?
what is yours for? Well, this is for 8. I got to make this. I'm like, just pick it up. It's a snowman. Oh, I was feeling it today. But I am whipped, man, this week. I've gotten up at 4:00 every day this week, and it's hitting. So you want to get into, we talked about it a little bit, the new construction. I mean, it's kind of a soapbox.
Yeah, let's climb up on that thing.
Oh, God. Well, first of all, new construction in general in HVAC, I hate the fact, I don't know what year this started. I hate the fact that when it's new construction, it's like not a skilled trade and you don't make good money on it.
Nope.
Like, when did that? And I mean, so there's several new construction boxes, right? There's 5 houses a year, custom homes. We did those in Atlanta, and they were, badass homes, high-seer equipment.
Yeah, we're talking 5 homes a year that have 5+ systems per home. Like, we're talking monster custom home. Right?
Yeah, $1 to $3 million homes.
Yep.
I mean, we did those. Still didn't give us anywhere to put the mechanicals, but or ductwork or line sets or anything.
It just heats and cools magically. Didn't you know that? It's a magic box. We put it in the mechanical closet and it does its thing.
So my brother-in-law, the poor brother-in-law, 5 minutes from here. This is what I'm talking about. He's 5 minutes from here. Let's call this he got a good deal on it, but now I want to say $500,000 to $700,000 home, and it has a 5-ton zoned heat pump, 14 steering. Oh yeah, it's got the old Goodman in it. Nothing on the Goodman. I'm just talking about you can cut brand all out altogether, but it is the absolute bottom of the barrel product you could put in that house.
Yep.
And it's foamed. Right? So this is starting to get into, it's roof lines foam. So it's higher performing home, and the whole neighborhood's like that. I don't know how many homes are in there, 200, 300. I mean, you'll see 7 HVAC vans in there, different companies every day.
Oh yeah.
And they're probably 6 years old, something like that. So that's what I'm talking about. Whoever put that product in made, $1,200 on that house.
If that.
The zoning has a weighted arm. It's not set up because it's an off-brand and you can't even set it up properly.
It was the cheapest thing they could buy to try to make their $1,200.
Like, when did that start? That's what I want to talk about. When did that start?
And what's funny is, I did a lot of new construction rough-in stuff. I've posted stuff from here and there, and I've got more that'll find its way on the R&D eventually. But we did a ton of new construction, and we did small homes, big homes, but we never cut a corner. And I mean,
right, but these guys, the really good, I feel like the really good HVAC guys are not getting paid.
They're not.
They go do a change out and they make the same as if they did 70 homes. I mean, what is the miss there?
Yeah.
I get it. It's quantity. And I get it. It can't be the same profit, but there's that is one of the most important things in the home is the mechanicals, and we got builders deciding that now we're going to put the cheapest thing we can in there because that's going to put more money in my pocket.
Well, and it's how much did you spend? Not knocking these guys either, but how much did it cost you to spray that attic? But you couldn't spend more than that little bit on the cheapest HVAC system you could find, but you'll spray foam the attic.
Now, do you think that's what's driving this Department of Energy deal?
Which part?
I mean the CO2 and the creeping up a little bit where we're almost at 2-stage minimums.
I think they think if they make everything 2-stage, it'll make the power grid magically less impacted.
Oh,
in
like
some cases,
huh?
In some cases maybe it will, some cases maybe it won't. Most cases I don't think it will, because there's still a lot of these situations where you're still stuck in that, well, we just got to put the cheapest thing in here we can so that we can try to make something on the other end, or so we can try to beat the guy around the corner.
Right.
Because RNC has just become a race to the bottom, which sucks.
It is, because there's going to be a contractor that will do it for that price.
Yep.
The builders know that.
Yeah, and it's whether it's because they just need the work that desperately, or they just have big enough manpower to say they can.
Right.
One of the two.
I mean, I know some contractors that are very large that crush new construction, but they also have $1 million metal shop with throw a sheet of metal in it and it spits a plenum out of the other end in like 90 seconds and it's insulated, like it's ready to go. What size you want?
Well, and it's because they
have to do that.
They have to do that because they've found that's the only way they can save $30 an install to try to make a little more on the back end. That's what it is. It's like, well, we spent $10,000 on this machine, but over the course of a year, it's going to save us, 20. We're going to buy it.
Right. So that's what that's what our discussion is here is, if you were a brand, let's say you were brand A, do you want to get in that sandbox? Do you want to put a product out because it's going to have to be Bosch is a prime example. 7, 8 years old, they want to gain market share. I mean, what brand doesn't want to
every brand
be in every home in the country, right? That's the plan. And it's going to take longer. This is my opinion. I didn't get any of this from Bosch. My opinion, an inverter product or a mid to high tier product is designed for a high end, custom home, middle of the road, small to middle of the road guy that does really good work, or obviously a large company that does good work too, but takes pride. You can really use that brand as your only brand if you wanted to, but I don't know, man. I don't know if some of these products, I just don't know if they want to go down that road. I really don't.
Well, and I think
it's good numbers.
I think on the board. I think advanced products like that have a place in R&C, and I don't think it's only just in custom home, but right. I think it is with the right builder. I think there's a number there, right? Like a cost number. You were trying to decide what that. You got to have enough meat on the bone, right? So it can't be a $200,000 townhome. Well, and I think it's where you have to work with a builder to see if I'm trying to think the right way to word this.
Right.
Because I'm not trying to badmouth builder or anybody
else. Looking from our end, outside in, right, looks like he doesn't care about the HVAC product.
That's it. And you want
just what it looks like to me.
And they talk about they want to put all these amenities in a home to make it this much more expensive or this much fancy. It's like, man, at the end of the day, that that crown molding or that whatever, that's great, but it's what makes your house comfortable.
It's going to crack because the humidity is so bad.
That's it. What makes your home
because you foamed it with a single stage product.
That's it. And what if not only can you sell these people their dream home, but you can sell them their dream home and have it be the most comfortable dream home they ever imagined.
I mean, do you know how many homes?
If you could put $5,000 more towards your HVAC budget, you know how much better systems would work in your home, in these new construction homes for your homeowners. You realize how much better your reviews online would be, since that's the important thing these days.
Well, I hate that the new the giant neighborhoods that are 500 to 800 nice homes. I hate it when they're large like that. The HVAC is in the toilet, man.
Because it got treated like the afterthought. You take the most expensive, truly the most expensive, or what really is or should be the most expensive appliance in your home, because it is truly pretty much the hardest working one in your home. Yeah. And it just gets treated like the afterthought. It's like the last thing that they make room for in the budget is the HVAC system, which... What? Really?
You'll see a nice tankless, right? You might see a nice tankless, some nice fixtures. Plumbers seem to do pretty good in these homes, but the air you breathe and what you feel like in the home, I don't know how that just takes a backseat. It's bizarre.
I know. I don't understand it either.
In Atlanta, I would walk in custom homes. I'm talking, we would do them. Mm-hmm. We couldn't talk them into anything higher than a 15 or a 16 SEER 2-stage. This 2-stage was like, whoa.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if I got that in the budget. I'm like, this house is a $2 million home, right? Like, and it's like 80% glass. Like, the house is insane.
Well, and then they look at you like you're insane for wanting to put in a high-end product in a high-end freaking house. It's like, don't you want to build a high-end product? This is part of your build. Right. I was in a house. What? I'm trying to think. 4 or 5 months ago, and it has this 12-foot tall, 24-foot wide, 6-panel door. It's $120,000 door. they're not spending half of that.
14th there.
They're not spending half of that on the 5 split systems plus 2 mini splits in this house. Are you serious?
Well, and
7
what
systems
was bad is I could tell that it wasn't discussed with the homeowner. Every once in a while, I'd catch one with an engineer, and he had 96% furnaces. He had 17 minimum ACs. But a lot of these, I'd go out there because we put it in. I'm out there doing a startup or changing a stat where they, somebody hit it and knocked it off with a painter or something. But I'd go out there, and now I'm dealing with the homeowner. Builder's gone. Everybody's gone.
Mm-hmm.
I'm dealing with the homeowner, and we put it in. We put the system in. Airflow's good. All that's good. And they're just like, yeah, it just doesn't feel that great in here. I'm like, well, it's kind of a single stage product. It really needs to run more. Your house is foamed. We've got fresh. I mean,
but there's no ERV in here to
change
the air out.
We can't really size this. I mean, they don't make a product single stage that will work for this. And the homeowner's just like, yeah, but I just paid $5 million for this house. I mean, I don't think you understand. I'm like, no, I don't think you understand. Like, it wasn't my idea.
It's like, you didn't pay me $5 million for this house. You paid the builder, who paid me as little as he possibly could to put in the cheapest thing he could put in here, because he knew he was walking away and didn't have to deal with the headache.
Yeah, I just don't know how we close that gap there, fix that. I don't.
Well, and here's another one. Here's a pet peeve. They're like, well, we build an Energy Star home. Buddy, I'm so tired of hearing that shit.
I mean, an Energy Star
great.
home is a regular.
It's a regular home.
Because it's a regular home.
It's a regular home. And soapbox again.
That's like SEER, right? I mean, SEER's a horrible word to throw around. Yep. Energy Star, like, I'm ready for SEER 3 and 4 and 5, where everything's like rated properly. I don't know. Maybe I'm not. Maybe I won't be ready.
We're probably not. But
I'm just saying, like.
Well, I had a conversation with the builder, and I talked about it, and I said, well, what if we put. I said, what do you guys put in there? I said, this is what I do for a living. Is, I grew up in a contracting business. I did a lot of new construction install myself. I said, I sell equipment and materials to guys now. It's like, what do you guys put in the house? And the answer was, well, we build an Energy Star home. I said, that's not what I asked. I said, building an Energy Star home.
So you want the minimum that reaches that.
I said, that's it. And that's the thing. They want what will touch that. I said, just because you build an Energy Star home doesn't mean everything in the house is Energy Star. It's just not. Sorry.
Well, think about it. An Energy Star in our market, in our southeast here, what SEER is that?
I guess it was 15.
Right?
But here's the thing.
I mean, think about that. So it's Energy Star, but that's still a.
Well, but once again, what is 15 SEER? It's a single stage 15 SEER product. I hate to say it, but a single stage product to me in this day of age should not be an Energy Star home. You want Energy Star home? Give me something that's truly efficient.
That 15 SEER single stage with a scroll compressor is not a whole lot different than 8 years ago product.
It's not.
I mean, well, okay, it's got a DC brushless fan motor on it.
Maybe now.
Okay,
maybe.
It's maybe. It's still slamming a contactor down and ripping some amps. I mean, it's not any different. Now, do we have a constant torque inside? That's probably the only way they're getting away with it. That outdoor is not changed.
No.
We got a constant torque inside, maybe 2-stage if the outdoor is. If it's single stage inside, that constant torque motor on that single stage air handler is not this latest, greatest thing.
It's not. They've been around for, 20 years now?
I mean, it's still just an air handler. you know, I don't know. Yeah, I agree with you there. I don't think that's Energy Star. I mean,
No, and like I said,
our values on insulation on Energy Star. That's just a normal home. It's not like it's fantastic.
And but it's all it is fluff. We put all this fluff and everything. And I'm a sales guy. Trust me, I'm the last guy that should probably be sitting here talking about bitching about fluff. Because I mean, you know, I've had my times where I got to fluff something up here and there. That sounded terrible.
Yeah,
but
it was bad.
That's pretty bad.
Wait for it. Yep. All right. I mean, the ballpark one fits on everything.
It is true. Jesus.
So yeah, the new.
But
so that kind of leads us to what's your idea? And you've been on the sales side and dealt with the manufacturer for longer than I have, and you've heard that word market share a lot.
Oh yeah.
Every sales meeting
for
every brand. How important do you think that is for a brand? I mean, Bosch is a great example, and not just because we are selling Bosch or I train on Bosch, but Bosch is a great example because of their age.
Yep.
And coming into the game, right?
Well, and I'll be honest, I think they have a much better grasp on the market than people give them credit for.
Yep.
Because I'm really yet to not run into anyone that at least knows it exists. And a lot of that's because, and we've talked about it before, you know, the brand recognition of that name alone gives them a nice little leg up versus some other stuff. For one,
right?
Was it third most recognized brand in the world? I think
they're second now.
Second, there you go.
Yep, that's fresh news.
So that helps. But
every time I buy a wiper blade, I'm like, cripes, I got into the wrong business.
No joke. I just bought new ones on Monday.
They're expensive.
Yeah.
For some reason, I don't know what's going on there. It's just rubber, but maybe that's why.
Where it meets the glass, man.
So yeah, I mean, market share. That's where all brands try to get, right? When I was in Atlanta, I couldn't go to a home that didn't have a Rheem Rude product in it. It was just everywhere.
Yep.
I mean, everywhere. Moved to Charlotte, started working in North Carolina. Me and Rhydon went to it was probably my second call with you. The guys have not even seen the newest product that's been out 6 years for that Rude Rheem. I'm like, oh, that's market share, right? Like, there's pockets where nobody's heard of it.
Yep. And you know, now and some of that comes down to distribution. Did they have a footprint in that market at all in the first place? You know, or is it a new market for them? You know, previous company, when I started there, they were very new in this market. Company I went to just here recently, you know, I was the other place for a decade. Where I'm at now is kind of, in some ways, I'm walking into it around the same, you know, age number in the market as like wholesale. Now they've been in the market for other things for a lot longer, which is an advantage in some ways.
Right.
But you know, we're in a lot of ways, we're new kids on the block again. So it's kind of,
I'm not gonna lie, I like being the new kid on the block.
I do too. And I
don't
know what it was like to be the new kid on the block with zero experience as a sales guy. You know, 10 years later, understanding relationships and different things more now than I did then. I'm excited about it because now I can go and try not to make the same stupid mistakes I made before because I learned my lesson.
Right.
And you know, we talk about this goal of being in position for us to build a better community for our trade. I truly feel I'm in a spot where I can, we're getting ready to open more branches in the next couple of months. We're truly in a position to actually really go and build a better distributor, because I can take all the screw ups and try to right them, to help have a better foundation going forward.
Oh yeah.
And
hindsight.
Oh yeah. That 2020 hindsight thing is true. If anyone ever doubts it, freaking true. But we're in a position now where you and I both, because of things we've learned over the years, we both know how to go out and build things better than we did before. So I'm excited to see, going to market with a product that's cutting edge, as a company that's trying to be cutting edge. It's a nice partnership there. It's just interesting. It's fun.
Well, so I guess the big question is, put yourself in the brand that's 6-7 years old. You want to get your name, you want to get recognized as a top heating and air product. What's the play there? Do you want to just steady Eddie and you are a high end product? Not that new construction is low end, but what's the line there? Like, how do you play that game where you want to get more boxes out there?
I think,
but you got to be careful with that, I think.
Well, and like I said, I think you have to be strategic in, I guess I say you have to be strategic in your race to the bottom.
Right.
You got to think about where stuff's going. You can't immediately just go, well, I'm just going to stack them deep, sell them cheap. That's what we're doing. That's not the brand identity you have.
That's right. Not. There is brand identities out there like that.
There are.
And that's also a tactic. That's
it.
Not that it's wrong.
And what you don't see is with those stack them deep, sell them cheaps that we talk about. What you don't see from those are a lot of guys that are putting in the high end portion of those brands. You just do not see it.
Yeah, I was that guy. We were that guy in Atlanta. The first account that my boss opened up, the very first account, me and him, he went down at that time in Atlanta. It's just called Goodman. You just go in there. It just says Goodman on the door. Go in there, open up account. My first system ever installed in my life was a dry unit, Goodman dry unit on a rental home. And the next thing we were like, man, they got this 16 SEER, like true Amana lifetime compressor. Like, so we started putting in the high end stuff, and it was a different product. I mean, it was totally different.
Yep.
We put it in our house, it still started the same, but for whatever reason, it still let it rip. That's why I think it's funny we use that on our intro, because
it's the most recognizable.
That's my roots
ever.
That's right. But yeah, I think that's kind of cool. You point that out. There's guys that put that brand in, but they only put in the 18. There's an 18 now, I think they got an 18. Yeah, nobody, but you see what happened though, when they went to market like that. They picked that name up. I mean, it's just what happens.
It's what happens.
So I think certain brands need to go down that road. If they just got to be careful.
And I agree. I think you have to be strategic about, I guess I should say, the level of, God, what's the right word? I'm not going to say the level of new construction or the level of so on. I think there's a value level there. Right. Because if you want to have this type of brand, there's a point. There's going to be times you have to go down and play and fight dirty. There's going to be where you got to go price fight. That doesn't care what brand you have. You're going to have those moments.
Right.
But I think you have to pick your battles in where you do that.
Oh yeah.
It's hard to take a product and sell the value of it in this but then immediately go, well, we just want to have, we want to sell into all these 500 unit spaces or this, and this, and we're going to sell at the same price that these guys are selling this for. Well, if you do that, then you are undervaluing all the money you spent to have that technology that puts you up there in the first place.
That's right.
But there can't be where that technology is so much more exuberantly priced than the other one that it just makes it throw out of the market altogether. And where do you find that balance?
And you've got on the notes here, revenue isn't money in the bank.
No, revenue is not money in the bank. GP is money in the bank.
Right. You don't just look at that one big number. That's just that brown box moving.
No. And once again, that comes down to cost of doing business.
Right.
And the cost of doing business is almost worse now than it ever has been in pretty much every industry. And it's not going to get any better. Sorry.
All right,
Shocker.
soapbox over.
I feel like we've went all over in this show.
Yeah.
That's probably what everyone's thinking. They probably cut us off 45 minutes ago.
No.
These guys need to go to bed.
They're still... Yeah, I mean, I'm like hit another gear here. I'm just delirious at this point.
I am raced you out. Race you out.
Race you out.
No more citrus ale.
I was going to try to say this another way. Narragansett out.
Dunk.
Yep. So I had one. I'm sorry I don't have all the tech calls anymore that I used to get. Maybe I'll get them this summer. Maybe I won't get any. I shouldn't get any, right? Good solid brand. I shouldn't get a lot of calls, but it's starting to pick up. The call volume's starting to pick up, and I got one yesterday.
It's that market share, man.
That's that market share. Got one super small. It's a dumb little quote the guy said on the phone. I've never talked to him before. It just hit me wrong. You ever had stuff somebody says it just caught you wrong?
Mm-hmm.
Talking to this guy on the phone. Sounds like a younger guy. I was like, hey, man, what you got going on? He's like, yeah, man, I've been working on this thing all day or working on it for a little while. I think I figured out the problem. It's got a low voltage short in the thermostat wire. It kind of goes behind the air handler, but I am just too fat to get in there. And that he just rolled right with it. I'm driving in the truck and I'm like, I didn't know whether to laugh or he wasn't laughing at all. He's just like, yeah, man, it's all good. Thanks for calling me back. Yeah, it's got a low voltage short in the thermostat wire there, but I'm too fat to get in there. And I'm just like, I'm like, dang, that stinks. I mean, I didn't know what to say. I was like, and I'm just picturing all kind of crap. I'm picturing this guy just standing there just like a tank. And he's like, yeah, they stuck this air handler in this closet and there's an 8-inch space to get behind it. And I'm like, shit, I couldn't fit through that either.
And you're like, define fat.
Yeah. I was like, ooh, that's tight. He's like, yeah, man, I'm too fat to get in there. So they're gonna have to send a different tech over there. I mean, he didn't laugh ever. He sounded pretty defeated, actually. So I was trying to be careful. I was like, all right, man, well, just let me know how it goes. I don't know, that one. I like that.
That's a hard segue right there.
He just rolled through it. I'm just too fat to get in there. Our buddy Zach.
Dispatch.
Dispatch, yeah. Got a problem out here on this call. So that training, speaking of dispatch, that training I did this morning, another awkward moment. Gotta love the awkward moments. Got done with the training. It's like, all right, guys, thanks for having me out. Hope you learned something. I want to, here's a hat, here's a beanie. Start cleaning up. And the whole time I'm trying to wrap it up, there's 4 ladies standing by the door waiting on me to finish.
Oh boy.
So they can talk to them about something. So we got 12 techs in here that are about to get just hammered by the inside ladies.
Oh geez.
And we're talking about a 12 by 12 room, and we're snuggled up in here. So I start unhooking my gauges and my, all my stuff, and she just walks up, and I'm like, we're both just right in the front of the room. And she's like, so you guys, she lays into them, and I'm standing up there, and
oh boy,
I can't not listen. I'm standing right next to her. You guys, when you turn this in, you're not checking this box, and the damn thing, we're not getting paid on this. And Jimmy, you got to start. I don't know what you turned in last week, but that ain't gonna work. And I'm just like trying to just get out of there, and they are just like taking a beat down. She's like, Joey, you're that commission you turned in, I don't know where you think you got that from, but that ain't gonna work. Nothing good. Like nothing good.
Taken to the principal's office.
And I was like, I'm gonna have to say something. Like, I got so much I want to say right now. Like, dang man, you think I said, I got to get out of here. So I just grabbed a tote and I said, I got to make a few trips here. And I went out to the truck. And when I come back in, it was the third lady just
oh god
wearing them out. She was talking about their 401k and they ain't turned this in and this was out of whack. And they still had another one to go. And I'm like, man, I'm glad I got mine in before they got in here. Oh, man, I had to say something, and they were laughing, but the ladies were not laughing. And I'm like,
you think you're funny, Mr. Tech Guy? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think I need to leave. Let me just get out of here. But I couldn't get out. I needed to push my equipment out the door, but they're all in the way, and they're just grilling these guys. But I remember sitting on that side, and the ladies in the office they're rough. They're tough. It's all good till you start messing up their stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You are not turning in your paperwork. What is the problem? I'm like, well, it's in the van. I got it.
Well, turn it in.
It's 3 weeks worth.
Yeah.
Sorry. Oh, wow. Look at that. There's 10 grand in here. Sorry about that. Couldn't make payroll because old Bobby didn't turn in oh, look, there's 5 checks in here. That's old school.
It's so true though.
Oh yeah, there's different levels. I love that. I don't miss that, but yeah, I felt like I was just like, and they all just, when I turned around and looked, all I seen was like 12-year-old kids sitting in there also. Like when your dad was reaming you out.
Oh god.
They were all just like, yes ma'am, yes ma'am.
Yep.
Yep. I'm like, here's an HVAC R&D sticker. Thank you. I'm out of here. Oh yeah, that was good stuff this morning. I had to get out of there though. Then the warehouse guys trapped me and was like, you got a hat? You got a beanie, man? We got to have some stuff. Like, there you go. What else you got? I'm like, nothing. I got nothing. You took all my stuff.
I know
that's my cross face confession.
Yeah, we gotta order stickers and we gotta work on some swag stuff. What do you guys want in the swag shop? Anybody? Any wants, desires?
Well, they just blurted out stuff. We just don't know what they said.
That's true.
We got stuff coming. We're going to
Comment
put it on there.
section.
We're easing in there with the Cajun Joe spice.
Yes. Which, so speaking of that, I had a customer today, or not today, excuse me, Wednesday. I had a customer Wednesday that I had given a little 2-ounce sample to forever ago. And I was in their shop Wednesday, and he's like, "Hey man, you got any more of that spice stuff you let me have?" I said, "Yeah." He's like, "Our church is getting ready to have a big old kebab like cookout." He's like, "You got any more I could have?" I said, "Sure, I got you."
Gotta sell it, Rhydon.
I know, but it's for the church. I felt bad.
Well, you gotta sell it for your dad.
I know.
It's for the church. God, the church always gets us. I hated to go do a quote for a church. Oh, I hated that. I'm like, this thing is 1970. The heat exchanger is gonzo. It's gone. And can you repair
son,
anything? You repair that?
If you so feel it in your heart, if you so feel it in your heart,
like,
too.
Don't put that on me. It needs replaced, man. Come on.
Oh no.
Oh, you go in there and there's not one piece of equipment in there that's matching ever at a church.
No.
You got 7 twin furnaces and they're all different brands. It's like they all got different coils on them. Different outdoor units.
To this day, I have never burned up more Sawzall blades than I did in a church in Canton. I think I've told that story before.
I think so.
Oh God.
And I don't know whoever lays out ductwork at a church, or whoever lays out all the mechanical stuff at a church. They're never normal.
Well,
ever.
I've never understood, like, whose bright idea was it to build the church on top of the boiler? Like,
Oh, I see that a lot, even in Georgia.
Let's build it on top of the boiler. Here, let's frame in the entire air handler 30 feet up in the top of the sanctuary. Good luck.
Oh, yeah, that's what I mean. You need a big duck sock in there.
Yeah, 10-foot duck sock.
Take him right off the front there. Doink.
Why does the duck sock look like the giant arm flailing inflatable tube, man?
Yeah, so if I went to a job site with a duck sock, I would turn the fan on, turn the fan off. Turn the fan on, turn the fan off. Collapse, raise up. Yep, that'd be me. They're like, "What are you doing?"
Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, the last church I worked on, they're like, "So here's the thermostat for the sanctuary. It's down this hall in the kids' room." I'm like, "What? What? Wait, no, the stat goes in the sanctuary." Nah, it's just that ain't how it is. We like to never figure that out, but yeah, the stat's down here, and this, I'm like, how long has this been like this? I don't know, 25 years. I mean, they're all like that. They're so bizarre how they're set up. I've never been into one that's just straightforward. It's almost like somebody knew somebody that knew somebody that did heating and air, but he didn't have a commercial license. That's where all that twinning comes in.
Yep.
And here's 4 furnaces twinned together and a 7.5 ton AC on the roof. I mean, anyway.
Yep.
Don't miss that.
Slab coil in the carved out crawl space underneath.
Yeah. Yeah, a huge slab coil though. What was that slab?
60 inches wide.
Yeah.
B cabinet furnace.
Oh yeah,
And you've got a 1 foot transition. It's like,
oh yeah, no, yeah, it's not going through there.
it's like, what?
But whenever you come up on them, they're just kind of working. Somebody's tweaked them and dialed them in to where they just kind of work. I've sold. Well, it's hard to sell a job there. Like you said, they put you on the guilt trip's hard on those. All right. We got to go to sleep. You going to take us out?
Take me out to... Oh, wait, no, it's not 7 a.m. stretch. Sorry.
No, it's...
We've Hey, time to go.
Yep.
So yeah, thanks for listening to us ramble this week, everybody. I know I certainly rambled. But good times. God, what is this?
I think we
episode
covered
97?
some good stuff. Yeah.
We did. We covered good stuff. Hopefully we didn't put our foot in our mouths too bad. Don't have to go fix all that this week.
Yeah, we're gonna come back on the show next week. Yeah, so we're working for a different brand. Rhydon's got a new gig.
Gosh.
I'm training on a different product.
I thought you guys hired us because we spoke our mind. Apparently not.
Right? No, that's what this is all about.
No. You're always going to get honesty from HVAC R&D, whether it costs us our job or not, apparently. All jokes aside, thanks for listening, everybody. We appreciate the support. Definitely stay tuned to more guests this summer. Hopefully we can start
What is this, 97?
Yes, this is 97.
Holy cow.
I know, it's crazy. We know who's, I guess we can say, we know who the plan is for the 100th episode guest. We'll say that. Throw that out there. We have a plan.
I got a confirmation text tonight, by the way.
Oh, nice. Especially because the guy doesn't like to text. That's even better. That's money right there. So yeah,
it was green.
It was green. It was green.
Was it blue?
Yes. So yeah, episode 100 is coming up fast. I'm actually, so I'll put it on LinkedIn because it's the only way I kind of know how to share it. I'll put it on Instagram. I got invited to be a guest on a panel for my company's podcast next Friday. I'm not sure all the topics we're covering, but some of it is a little bit of talking about trade school and different things. So I'll be on there. Like I said, I'll put that out. Again, I'll invite anybody that wants to come walk and that need to walk tomorrow morning at this point, Saturday morning on the 13th. Information is in the link tree off of social media, so go check that out. Registration 9:30, walk start to 10:30. Hope to see you guys there. Help us raise some money for charity. And then also make sure to follow us on social media. Check out our buddies, Mr. Greg Crumpton over at Straight Outta Crumpton, Tony Warmino, Engineers HVAC Podcast, all of our buddies at HVAC Visionaries who helped me out sending me some stuff this week. Thanks for that, guys. I know you took a little bit of time to get all that put together, so appreciate it. Check out our buddy Pat. I know he did respond to us throwing him out there on our previous episode, so I think he's gonna call out Sefesa and see if we can maybe do something there.
Oh boy, they don't know what's coming.
They have no idea what's coming. I know, but if so, we're definitely getting it on film. That's all I can say.
God, she's gonna be a commercial kitchen service lady.
That would be awesome.
Yep.
She'd crush it, and then
would
cook
eat
dinner.
All the She's just, as long as I get that sub.
That's it. As long as I get that sub. So yeah, check us out. Thanks for listening, everybody. Have a good weekend. Have a good week next week. Don't forget to go get involved in the HVAC challenge for the HVAC foodie. Dadgummit, I think I actually forgot to post one today. I've got like 7 minutes. I gotta find a valve. Gotta find a valve to post. Or if you got anything.
Me and you are having to double team this because I can't post all day long. I just can't find it. Or I can't think about it, or I'm training or whatever.
Yep, you and me both. That's why I didn't think about it till earlier. I was like, shit.
I wish I had a picture of a valve on a beer funnel. What is it? The ball valve on a...
Yes. I might have to...
Well, I'm drawing a blank.
I might have to cheat and Google that and screenshot something.
The beer funnel. Yes.
Circle it, point at it, valve.
I used to have one way back in the day, yeah. clear hose valve and the big red funnel.
Oh, jeez. Oh, hell.
So, yeah. Thanks
All
for
right.
listening, guys. And, yeah, we'll see y'all next week.
All right, take it easy.
Peace.
Peace.